Hey, if you're looking to grow a personal brand or the personal brand you're growing just hasn't taken off yet, then today's question from Now Mind and Body will help you do just that. Hey, what's up? Jeremy back again with another video this week on another episode of What Up Jeremy to help you in your pursuit of living the dream and making money doing what you love. Each and every day here, Monday through Friday, I share videos to help you in efforts to live the dream and to create the life and the reality that you're picturing. And every week on Wednesdays, I do one of these shows, a Q&A show, to either pose a question to you or answer a question from one of you guys in efforts to help you guys along the path. And today's episode is no different. We have another question in from Ryan McBurney, one of my buddies who runs at Now Mind and Body on Instagram, who's building his blog, building his personal brand. And his question today is, how do you get started with personal branding? Now, to give you guys a little bit of context on why I'm qualified to talk about this and why I'm so interested and passionate about personal branding is because back in 2014, I started studying marketing online, and I of course wanted to build a personal brand, but I didn't quite know what to do, and so I struggled. And so I went on a journey of learning and helping people at discounted rates, and I ended up creating an agency where I help build personal brands online and where I consult with them or where we do done-for-you services. And so through that journey, I've learned what it takes to use online marketing, the internet, and your own personality to create an environment, to create a place where people want to hear from you and end up buying what you want and take you up on your recommendations. So if you're thinking about personal branding like Ryan is, then I first want to commend you, because building a personal brand in today's day and age is one of the things that I think can differentiate you and everyone from the rest of the crowd. Whether you're in a job and have a career right now or you don't, having a personal brand and an audience and having that attention can do things for you when you need them and create opportunities for you in situations where you might not have thought. So having an audience, having a brand, and having a place where you're sharing your thoughts is critical. And if you're thinking about that, I commend you. That being said, let's get into helping Ryan and you out with what it takes to actually start building and growing a personal brand. Number one, all starts with the decision to either start sharing online or start documenting something that you're doing online. For some people, maybe you're like me and learning online marketing and doing self-development. I was sharing those things as I learned, and I still do that to this day. Or maybe you want to start a new hobby. You could be looking at something you want to learn and going and doing that thing. So Ryan, in your situation, as you're talking about mind and body and awareness, presence, strength, and optimization, and kind of those things on your personal brand, what you might think about is either documenting something you're learning right now in the gym or a new workout that you're doing or some sort of technique that you're learning. And so this just comes down to either sharing what you know on it, and if you already know that, maybe you've gone to a class on that, maybe you've watched YouTube videos, maybe you've been applying it. You can just start sharing those things. So it starts with the decision to share. So if you're watching, you could share something that you already know, that you've learned, that you're qualified. You could be an expert or more of a subject matter expert than most people. That'd be fine. You could pick a new hobby or something that you want to learn. So in this situation, Ryan, maybe you're not meditating a lot and you want to start and you've had some resistance. Probably something a lot of other people have gone through. You could show them what you're doing to start meditating daily. So that'd be a situation if you maybe aren't meditating just yet. The next way that you could start sharing and documenting and putting out content online and making that decision is to decide to share something that you've accomplished already. So maybe you, like me, are a public speaker. You could talk about tips with that. Maybe you have the physique already that a lot of people are wanting. You could share that. Maybe you do meditate already and you're a master at it. You can share those things. So it all starts with the decision and to start documenting and sharing online. This part keeps a lot of people from not only getting started, but keeping going, because oftentimes we will pick topics and things that we are consuming. So maybe you follow someone, it can hold you back to go down that path because you aren't them, which is why I always want for you to look at yourself first. What are you doing right now? What are you wanting to learn? Or what have you achieved or are an expert at already? Start with those things and make the decision to start sharing this online and documenting it and coming from a place where you're showing people what it looks like to go step by step. So again, number one, make the decision to start sharing and documenting your journey or your expertise online. Let's get into step number two. A lot of people make the decision to start making a personal brand or business online and will always come back to this one fact of growing a business in any time is that you do need customers. And in order to get customers, people actually have to know about your thing. There has to be awareness around you or your personal brand or your business. And so most people end up starting a brand, not ever thinking through how they're going to get their audience. They worry more about the content in step number one and making it pretty and making it look like all the things that they watch because they want to be proud of it and not be looked at as a newbie. And there's a lot of advantages in actually being looked at as a newbie and being new to all of this. There's no pressure of needing the quality like some of the other people and content that you might consume. So a lot of people get stifled in that, but they always will end up, even as good as the quality of their content ends up being, they will get to a point in realizing that they could have the best content in the world, but if no one's watching it, then does it even matter? Did they even make the content, so to say? And so what I want for you to do at this stage with step number 2 is to build your audience to your first 100 email subscribers. Building your email list, if you're not familiar, is one of the best things that you can do for your business and for your life. And what this does is it creates a list of people for you that have said, yes, I want to hear from you outside of the social media noise and outside of everything else, and I want to have a direct relationship with you in my inbox. And while email, I think, is the most popular, you could also substitute this for a phone number list or even physical addresses, depending what your business is. But have your most loyal followers info and create a way to constantly be asking people for that, and don't be ashamed of it. So what this might look and sound like, and I have other videos I'll link in the description on this topic specifically if you aren't familiar with what an email list is and how to actually build it. What this sounds like and what this looks like as a behavior and through motion is taking your phone and texting all the people that you are in conversations with right now and going through your email inbox and even social media DMs and all these people that you've been talking with over the last 4 or 5 days even, and just hitting them up and saying, hey, I'm building an email list, or I'm starting this thing where I document learning meditation, where I document, where I share what I learn in the gym, or what I share about mind and body awareness, or whatever your thing is. I'm starting this thing, and I think you'd really like it. Are you game to sign up, or do you want in? They say yes, and then you simply ask them for their best email address. And you do this manually. And if I were to give you counsel, you never stop being ashamed to ask that. At any point in your career, it's what's your best email? I think you'd like my mailing list. What you're saying is, hey, come and support me. And you might get some pushback like I did. And I have, again, I'll link the resources up here where you can see me actually doing this as I reset my personal brand as an exercise for you guys about a year or two ago. And just text everyone. Write down their email manually. When you get to 100, put it in MailChimp. This step is all about getting the core people who already support you, who already like you, on your side and tuned into what you have going on. Now with the content that you started documenting and started putting out in step number 1, and any content you have going on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, anywhere you're doing things, you can start to put this in your newsletter and sharing it out. What do you talk about in this newsletter or to your email subscribers? It could be a curation of the things that you've put out the last couple of days or the last week. It could be a curation of things you're finding in the internet. You could do what Tim Ferriss does and have a 5 bullet point roundup every single Friday with quotes you're pondering and things you're thinking about, articles you've read and updates and things like that, and maybe a link to a blog post or one of your own videos. A lot of ways that you can do this. Get creative with it. Hop in the comments here. Let's all share what we're going to do or what you're doing right now to help others, because email list building is an obstacle that takes some people, for whatever reason, a lot of time to understand and start doing. Accept it right now and take heed to my advice. Start your email list and start it by texting all of your friends and family saying, hey, I'm starting this thing. I don't even know where it's going to go yet, but I'd love your support. What's your best email? And you're going to get a lot of people that just say, yes, here's your email. And then you could even follow it up for some bonus points. Bonus points here. Ask them if they know, once they say yes, ask them if they know anybody who would also be interested. And they could either connect you with them or they could give you their email address. And now you're building exponentially and a lot quicker than just the one-off, the one by one. Build your first 100 subscribers is all what number 2 is about, and do that by texting and reaching out to your friends and family through email, through text message, through Messenger on Facebook, wherever you're hitting them up. Get them on your side, write down their name, and when you get to 100, you can keep on going, add it to your email list service provider, and keep on jamming out. That said, let's get into step number 3. This step is all about the feedback loop. You can't get feedback from people on what they're interested in until you start putting out content and either emailing your list, your new list of 100, or by continuing to share content and asking people what they think about it. Are they resonating with it and do they like it? And you need this feedback loop because you want a balance of creating things you're interested in and also solving problems that your audience is interested in having solved. And when you can find the overlap in that is where personal branding and the monetization of building and owning a personal brand, where that rubber really hits the road. If you're building a personal brand, chances are you have commerce in mind. Chances are you have wanting to make money online, or at least having other ways to generate income. And there's nothing wrong with any of that. I actually recommend it. But sometimes people will want to create the product they want to when the audience isn't wanting it or the audience isn't ready. So you have 100 people now on your email list. You're sending out weekly newsletters and you're getting feedback from people because you're asking questions in your content and in your emails. You're asking for feedback. You're saying, what would you like to see next? Hey, here are my 3 video ideas for next week. Which one do you like most? Or here are 3 video ideas. I'm going to make one of them. Which should I make? Maybe rewarding people for telling you what sort of videos they would like and just experimenting. I wouldn't have known that my most popular video on YouTube, if you're watching this in 2018, is a how to use a GoPro Hero 5 to vlog. I made that video in 10 minutes. I spent almost 0 time on it. I made it in a rush. I think it looks crappy, but it's my most popular video. So that to me is feedback for me needing to make more content about how to use this video equipment so that you can create helpful content online and quality content online. And so I couldn't have gotten that without putting out videos and getting that feedback from the internet and from other people. You need to be doing that same thing by, kind of sticking with your core idea and then going outside of that every once in a while. Always be asking people who are coming into your audience and to your email list about what content they would like, and asking inside of every piece of content what resonates the most, and asking questions to get people talking. As you do this feedback loop, you get some thoughts and you get some data on you put something out and did people like it or not, and asking a question and getting that feedback. And eventually what this turns into is figuring out the exact pain point your audience has that you're most suited to solve. And when you do that, you can start to put together an outline or potentially a program. And then you can, before you invest any time making it and spending all that sweat equity making a course or a book or something like that, you can ask your audience if it's something they would want. And you can ask them if they do want it to actually put money on the line before it's made at a discounted rate. This is a little bit more advanced, but at a high level, this is what starting a personal brand is all about. In step number 1, you start creating content and you make that important decision. In step number 2, you start building your audience, a hurdle you're always going to face and you're always going to need that attention. So start with the easiest way by just texting the people you already know. Don't make this step hard. And step number 3, continue this feedback loop constantly with asking people about what they think about what your content is about, what they think of the quality, asking them what they would like to see, sharing different random things just to see what the feedback is, and getting to a point where you're constantly trying to figure out what's the pain point that I can help my audience to solve, and what is something that would be worth for them investing money. As marketers and people who are building a personal brand, we have to do everything in our ethical power to solve our audience's deepest problems. And if we don't do that, we're doing a disservice. And in my opinion, we're being unethical. So it's important that we have this feedback loop of constantly asking and wondering, what does our audience need? And how can we help them? Hey, if you like this video, I've listed all of my videos on personal branding and starting and building an email list below. So be sure to check the descriptions so that you can actually go inside and look at how I did this. You can see the motions of me texting and overcoming obstacles in my own mind while I did the exercise of getting my first 100 subscribers. And you can also learn about personal branding and learn about the ins and outs of it in some longer videos that I have. If you like this video, then do leave a comment and subscribe and hit the thumbs up button, because I want to know, are you building a personal brand? And was there any tip inside of here that helped you, or maybe that you hadn't heard before? Or was there something inside of here that you've heard before that you just haven't taken action on that you're ready for now? It's 2018 if you're watching this while it comes out, and in 2019 and 2020, these are the years where you have the opportunity to set yourself apart. And so it's important that you focus on these aspects of you and your budding business so that you can actually have something that you put time into and that ends up handing you money back, because there's nothing worse than putting a bunch of time and investing a bunch of sweat into something that doesn't give you the result that you are wanting. So I want to hear from you in the comments if there was something in here that stuck out to you. So be sure to leave one now. While you're here and while you're around, be sure to hit the subscribe button and that big thumbs up button, because I share content Monday through Friday to help you to live the dream. And if you're this far into this video, then you're somebody who's after that and you want to follow your purpose and pursue your purpose and get paid to be who you are. This is the channel for you. So be sure to subscribe, hit thumbs up, and be sure to tag a friend as well. They'll be glad that you did. Hey, I want to answer your questions, so feel free to leave them below or DM me over on Instagram and ask me a question. I'd love to shout you out, plug your brand, and to plug you and to help you in your journey to living the dream. Tomorrow, I'll be back with another one of these. Until then, cheers.